So these are the modern teaching skills which I have just discussed now. Critical thinking, problem solving, and sorry, I have not done the recording before. Major things are communication language skills, PSET, personal, social, and emotional development, and physical development. When you're working with modern teaching skills, there are 7 areas of learning, and the most prime areas are these 3 areas, which is your CL, PSET, and physical development. So if you are not involving these 3 factors in your teaching plan, in your teaching skills, in your lesson plans, then I don't think so your lesson plan is completed. So while preparing any of the lesson plan, any subject, whatever the subject is, you have to keep in mind these 3 things also. Communication and language skills, PSED, personal, social, and emotional development, and physical development also. So these are actually according to the modern teaching skills. Now moving towards the next slide, lesson plan. Now we are going to work with lesson plan. When we are having modern teaching skills, when we are having a very good classroom with modern skills, we are involving so many critical thinkings in that. We are involving other factors also. We are involving out of the box thing for the students, then your lesson plan should also be accordingly. It is actually a map for you how you are going to make your learners learn for that day. If your lesson plans are not strong, then I don't think so that you will be able to convey what you wanted to convey to your children. Sometimes we plan lesson plan, we write lesson plan because our school told us to write, but we never follow the lesson plan. We make our lesson plans very decorative. We make our lesson plans very effective for the reader to read, but not for the learner to learn. Sapna, okay, Sapna. Please give your attendance also, whoever is coming in the room. And please turn off your mics also, or turn off your cameras also. All right. So lesson plan is basically a roadmap. If you are planning good, if your planning is good, then your lesson plan should be effective also for the learners too, not for the readers. For the learners, you should plan it accordingly. That how from entering the room till the exit. All right, so we are going to discuss that what are the strategies, what are the activities we are going to have in our lesson plans, and how we can make a lesson plan effective. What were the old methods of lesson plan and what are the new methods of lesson plan before, many years back, when these modern skills and modern teaching skills were not there in the classrooms, then how we are going to, then at that time, what were the lesson plans? And now how the modern lesson plans are. Rabia, kindly change your name also, okay? Rabia Shafi. Rabia, I can't hear you, please.
Now can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you change your name or should I change my your name?
I will be changing my name.
Anji, please change your name. Okay. So now we are going to check what were the modern, what were the previously followed lesson plans and what are the new lesson plans and which is the most effective lesson plan nowadays. Okay, here are some lesson plan designs which were working before. A's of LPs, Okay, there were lesson plans where only activity, analysis, abstraction, and application was there. Then C's of LP, there was a lesson plan which was following by these things: collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, character, citizenship, and computational thinking. Acha, all these things are following nowadays also, but only with modern teaching skills. What happened that there pattern is a little change. Okay? Before that, also things were working in the same way, but they were not according to the pattern. The pattern, the pattern they were teaching in the classroom, that was different. Earlier the classes were teacher centered classes. ठीक है, जहाँ पे teacher, she used to come in the classroom, she used to give the lecture, she used to give the lesson, she used to direct the students what they have to do. She also give them words meaning, sentences, question answers. Everything was like spoon feeding to the children. Before that also there, creativity was also there, critical thinking was also there, but it was also only planned thing, and we used to ask questions. And I think many of the teachers agree with that. Is sometimes the mostly we ask question only to those children who are good, or we always love to listen from those children who understands and who can give us good answers. We never bother to get answers from those children who need to work on that, who struggles for that. We don't have enough time, because we also say that 40 minutes classroom or 35 minutes classroom, how can we entertain every child, and especially the slow learners? But basically, your lesson plans should be planned by keeping those low learners in your mind, not the high achievers. Your lesson plans design should be accordingly that your low learners, your slow learners can also take benefit of that lesson easily in the first attempt or in the second or third attempt. The lesson should be clear to them. It should like that. So here are different A's, C's, E's, P's, and ABC and ABCD of different lesson plans which were following before. Even now, few of the things we are following nowadays, but oh, same way I told you, the order is different. Few things we were taking before, but now when we are working with child centered classroom, then the things are little different. Then we have to follow little different things. Now the most common thing we are following nowadays, these lesson plans are also designed by the very good educationist. If you have studied a B.Ed or M.Ed, you have done, so you know that who are the people behind all these things. Okay, they were also designed by some very good educationists in the past or psychologists in the past, but the patterns were different. Now, the modern era, the, the present era, the 21st century skills lesson plan is different, and that is this lesson plan, which was directed by and given by Bloom. Everybody know about Bloom's taxonomy. Actually, this lesson plan is according to that level, according to those that criteria, which is set for a child-centered classroom, not a teacher-centered classroom. Okay, it should be a child-centered classroom material or method. Now, what is the first thing in that? That is remembering. You can remembering means that you have to recall every child. Okay, um, there is some knowledge with them according to the topic. It's not like that they don't know anything. Okay, there is some knowledge, and knowledge should be not like that. It should not given to the children in such a way that you are telling them, okay, this is the thing you have learned before, and now you are going to learn a new thing. No, you are going to ask questions, you are going to target questions, you are going to ask um, open-ended question also and close-ended questions also to the learners to recall that topic, that what they know about the topic. In that way, you will come to know that what is the criteria to plan your lesson plan. If you can do that before planning the lesson, then it is very good. Otherwise, on the same day, you can also do that, and you can make changes a little later, that how much your child know about the topic and how much you have to tell them for the topic. Because sometimes it happens, we are introducing any topic to the children and already they have some knowledge about that topic, so we can make it precise, or we can add more things, we can add more activities in that. It will not become boring for the learners also, and it will become also very easy for you to teach them. So always have a recall, or remembering, or recapitulation kind of thing in the classroom, while you are having a new lesson plan with you, while you're teaching a new thing to your learners. Then understanding, explain ideas and concept. Later you are going to come to the understanding. Now understanding also, explaining idea or concept also should be in practical way. You should involve some activities to tell them what you are going to learn today. It should not like that, okay, start, open up your books, we are going to read it, and with the reading you are going to explain the topic. No, it should not like that. Before that you should have a strong grasp on that typical topic, on that the topic you are going to take for that day or for the whole week. You should have strong grasp on that topic also, that you can just simply tell them first. Just have a remembering thing and understanding thing together. Recall the topic, what they knew, and tell them with new things or new thing. Give, even for new topic also, ask questions to them. All right. For example, because they used to do parts of plant from the beginning. ठीक है, preschool में ही they used to do parts of the plant. Later parts of the plant chapter had so many things in it. ठीक है, photosynthesis also included in that, different shape of leaves including that, different shape of flowers including that. They also segregated to other like other types also. ठीक है, different types of plants involved in that, but the basic things they knew. They knew the parts of the plant and what are the things involved in helping to plant a grow. Okay, they knew these things before. So you are going to ask the previous things and challenge them with your question for the new things. In that way, half of the chapter you have completed almost. Okay, and use the vocabulary used in your chapter, in your topic. It's for everything. It's for literacy also, it's for numeracy also, it's for UOW subject also. Understanding of the world subject, that includes your science, your social studies, your general knowledge, your computer sciences, and your Islamic studies. So these things are already, you have already taught them all these things. It's not new for them, but the new things you can introduce them by give them challenging tasks, challenging questions. Okay, then you have to apply those things. Now you can apply those things in their lesson plans, and with the information you use you can solve the question answers. Okay, it becomes so easy. You can give them problems, they can solve them. Okay, before giving them question answer, give them general problems, give them general things, and they will solve it and they will give you answers of that. And later, if you want to precise the answers in your own words also, or you can tell the learners to write their own words, it is better. But what happen in our scenarios, because we teachers want that everything should be easy for us to check also, because we have to check the notebooks and all those things too. So you can precise the answers later according to your lesson plans or whatever the criteria your school is following. You can do that. But first four steps, the first two steps, you can do without anyone's concentration. Okay, it's not necessary that you should ask somebody how I should plan my lesson plan in the classroom. It is not necessary. First two things, that is up to you. How you are going to plan later, however your school told you, or whatever the plan you are following in your schools, you can create accordingly. Then analysis. Do the analysis of your lesson plan also, that whatever you have taught them, whatever the three steps involved in your lesson plan creating, are they effective or not? ठीक है, you have taken out the causes. Is there any connection they are making with the things in the general life, in the with the real life world, and are your students getting it and involving in this or not? Then after analyzing it and after completing all the 4 tasks, you have to evaluate. Okay, evaluate yourself and your students also. Whatever you have prepared in your lesson plan, is it effective for your students? Was it given to your teacher children in such a way that they learn something, they create something new, they have a good understanding with the topic? So it's an evaluation of yourself and your student also. I think many of you should that reflection diary we write at the end of the lesson plan, that is called evaluating actually, that what the learners have learned and how much your lesson plan incorporate with their learning. Then to create new thing, a new creation can be given as your home task. Give them any new thing, any new idea, any different idea, any different question which is not related to the learning they have done that day, but it is related to the topic. It should be new. Tell them to create something, tell them to give something like that, or you can, according to that topic, you can give them challenging questions. For example, as I have taken the topic plant, you can give them a question. If you want to design a plant, how your plant looks like, or what are the things you are going to create in your plant, what kind of plant you want to make for yourself. Okay, these kind of challenging questions give to your children and let them come with their answers next day. Okay, and if you are giving it by the end of the week, then check their answers later. So there should be some creativity also. Earlier the Bloom's taxonomy's last 2 points, they transferred in new era. Okay, earlier creating was first and evaluation was last, but now evaluation is first. First evaluate yourself that whether your lesson plan is clear to the students, then give them any home task to create something new. Okay, evaluation, do your evaluation of whatever you have done in the classroom. You cannot evaluate their journal practices, what which they are doing for producing new thing. Okay, the evaluation comes to till what you have taught them in the classroom. Got it? Now all these 6 points are clear to you. So I will move to the next one. Any question you want to ask me, please feel free to ask. G class. Nobody want to ask something? Why in chat box? Why can't you speak? Hmm? All clear? Are you applying? Are you making your lesson plans in such a way, because these are the this lesson plan is according to Pakistan's level. So are you following the same lesson plan in your classrooms? Okay. All right. That's good. This means that you are following child-centered rooms. Okay. For Bloom's taxonomy, these are different vocabulary you can use, and these are different vocabulary words you can use. These verbs in your lesson planning. I think everybody should have that, because in our school here in Pakistan, we used to paste that on our lesson plans also. Okay. Now, these are the things you should add in your lesson plans. Later, I'm going to tell you how you are going to do that also. These are few things your lesson plan should have: subject, date, topic, grade and section, number of students, teacher's name also. Vault. Vault means that what are you going to learn today? Okay? We are learning today. All right? Learning outcomes and success criteria, both should come over there. Learning objectives should be there. Learning outcomes and success criteria is basically the thinking that whatever the learning objectives are there, that what are your children are going to learn for that day, what is your objective, And what is the success criteria? What is the learning outcome? When they are going to learn such things, what are their going to outcomes? Okay? What will be the outcome? That should also be their previous knowledge or recap should be there. MEP, there should be one moral value lesson you should add in your every lesson plan. Okay, whenever you're planning a lesson plan, there should be one MEP there. And if you are having special need children or ST child in the classroom, you have to maintain its data also. Then you have to add vocabulary separately. Talented and gifted students should be there. If you are having any in the classroom, do mention in your lesson plans, because what is the need of those two things, special need children and talented and gifted. So even the reader who is reading your lesson plans should know that who you have to put effort and you who you don't have to put effort. Okay, it is clear to them also. Cross curricular activities, there should be some cross curricular activities according to the lesson plan. That I will tell you, that I told you already, that PSET, PD, and communication and languages, these are the activities, these are the prime factors should involve in your lesson plans. Then opening of a lesson, starter of a lesson, how you are going to the opening of a lesson and how well you are prepared in startup of the lesson. Then teaching and learning activities, then assessment to the attainment of lesson objective. Now, what is it? That according to your lesson objective, how much attainment you have achieved, what you have achieved according to your lesson plan. Then differentiated activities must be there. Okay, not every child work with all single one activity, and every child is busy in doing that one activity and waiting for others to get the material or whatever you have planned for your classroom. There should be at least 2 to 3 activities so they can have a differentiated activities and they love to do those activities. They get involved when they have that feeling that when once I'll complete this activity, I will jump to the other one also. Then plenary is basically open and close-ended questions, which are hots and lots also. High order thinking skills and low order thinking skills. Basically, low order thinking skills are having questions which are close-ended, which are precise, which can give answer according to the level. But these high order thinking skills or open ended questions are those questions which are which let them think out of the box, which those answers are not given by you. They have to think about those answers, they have to relate it to the real world, and then they will reply to you. Then there should be home task skills in the lesson. What are the skills they have learned in the lesson? Then there will be a teacher's log, that how much your lesson will deliver to the students, how much you have thought that my lesson will be 100% or 20% or 30% delivered to the children, or 50% or 70% of the student of your classroom understand your lesson plan. So here's a little teacher log for that. And then reflection diary, as I told you, what evaluation or reflection diary that you are going to write at the end of the lesson plan. Now I'm going to share the lesson plan pattern. All right, this is how it looks like. Okay, you are going to have a lesson plan in such a way. If you want to design it on the computer, and if you want to have it on the computer, you can have a lesson plan in this way also. All those things are involved in it. Whatever you are teaching in your school, it is involved in it, but you can use this pattern also. As we are working with in UAE, there is no concept of paper. There is zero paper. We use paper. We don't use paper over there. Everything is digital. Their target is by 2025, they are going to remove the paper work from UAE. So we don't do any work on paper. We don't have registers. We don't have report cards or something like that. Everything is computerized. And we plan and do everything on computer, and we share everything on computer as well. We share through emails, WhatsApp groups, or if they are having any learning stations, we share over there. So the things I have discussed before, this is how you are going to arrange them on your lesson plan. Your subject will come here, topic will come over here, date, then your grade and section, number of student, boys and girls, teacher name, then what are you learning today? Okay, we are learning today. The topic will come over here. Here the topic will come, like the science is there, which topic of science you are taking, and here the a little description of the topic will come over here. Then the learning objectives, at least three learning objectives should be there. And then learning outcomes or success criteria, at least three should be there also. Then previous knowledge, what are the previous knowledge you are going to ask, previous knowledge, okay? Even if you know what they are having related to the topic, then you can write, otherwise just write previous knowledge and you are going to ask previous knowledge from the student. Then MEP, do mention one moral value which they learn from you at that time. Okay, na? For example, if you are working with plants, so you are going to have an MEP according to that. Okay, don't cut the plants or save the trees, save your environment, or something like that. One MEP must be there in your every lesson plan. Then I was telling about you, ST children, special need children, you have to put your special need children name over here. Then the vocabulary related to the topic. Then gifted children, extraordinary children, you don't need to put efforts in the classroom and they are mashallah extraordinary, talented in everything. Those children name can be written over here also. Then cross curricular activities, as I told you before, what is communication and language involved in it, how PSED involved in it, how PD involved in it, and how EAD involved in it. EAD is basically expressing art and design. You should include one art activity must in your lesson plan. Okay? The ones who can complete the topic, it is not necessary that every child should do that activity. Once they can complete the topic, you can tell them to draw something randomly. You should have small pages, or if you are using the that book with the one, I just forgot the name of that book, which is having one a plain page and another writing page. Then you can use the plain page for that, and you can tell them to draw something on that page related to the topic. It can be done for anything. It can be done for any activity. Otherwise, if you're not having enough pages on the book, so you cannot draw over here, give them small pages. You know, give them small pages and tell them to make something of the topic related to the topic. Draw something over there. They can keep it with themselves. They can show it to their parents also, or you can also keep them for record if you are keeping their record. Otherwise, send them back home. Okay, tell them to share it with your parents. Then how you are involving communication and language. Your language should be very clear, and your communication should be in such way that your learners can understand your topic, whatever you are teaching them. Then there should be personal, social, and emotional development. How that thing is involving, like either they are working in the group in the classroom, either they are working in individual in the classroom, or they are having group activities, or they are helping their peers to solve the solutions or to solve the issues, or their peers are involving to help them. So you are going to write that in that. And then physical development. Physical development definitely involves with their skills, fine motor skills or gross motor skills, whatever the skills they are using in the classroom, that will involve in it. Okay. Or any activity of personal, social, and emotional development. Just hold a second, class, hold a second. Okay. So where we were now, what is the structure and activity strategy? Structure, opening activity, a previous topic or knowledge, opening activity with hands-on materials, real life object, ask close-ended and open-ended question will develop slow and high-order thinking skills. Okay? Resources, what are the resources you are using in your classrooms for teaching that specific topic? Then comes to teaching and learning activities. Now here comes development of lesson. One is teacher's action and the other is learning action. Okay? Your action, placing things in order, explain them about material, help them to investigate and explore. This is your action only, should be. Okay, for every topic. Now, learners' action, they are going to investigate, they are going to explore, they are going to perform actions, they are going to um, uh, learn the things according to their capacity and then give you the answers accordingly. Okay, so whenever you are going to give them any new topic or you're planning any new topic, so do check that there should be a practical involvement of your child along with the material and along with the topic. Okay, then differentiated activities, kinesthetic skills, again gross or motor skills involved in that, interpersonal skills, they are working in group or independent or sport, or linguistic skills, use of vocabulary related to the topic. You should also use the vocabulary which is related in the topic, which is related in the book, which is mentioned in the book. You should also have used those words and make sure that your learners also using the same words for that. Okay? The, the words of the topic should involve in your language for that day. Got it? Then special physical movements. You can have warm-up exercises, you can have clean-up exercises. Then there should be transition activities in the classroom. As you think that your um, lesson is going down, or the children are not listening enough, or they are not incorporating with you with the lesson, so you are going to have these special physical movements in the classroom. Take it. These things you can involve. Then comes to okay, now as I told you that this learning action, I don't know how well it is working here, but please do check that the involvement of your students. You should also plan things accordingly to the level of your child. Okay, only then your assessment of the attainment of learning objectives will complete. How much your emerging or evolving students are learning, how much you're expecting and meeting expectation students are learning, and how much you're uh, exceeding expectation students are learning. Okay, in every class there are three categories of students. I have told in my all the workshops that please make a list of your students in your classroom, that who are the high achievers of your classroom. They are actually the ones who are exceeding your expectations or meeting your expectations. Although the high achievers always exceed your expectations, because whenever whatever the things you give them to solve, they solve it. They give you answers quickly. Then there are students who are meeting expectations. Like somehow they are MA children, middle achievers of the classroom, and they try to meet your expectations. Okay, some way, somehow they manage to work accordingly what you have set for them. But there are few children who are doing nothing. They are evolving students, emerging students who you need to push, who you need to make learn. Okay, your main focus should be those students in the classroom. Mostly, what happens, we work on HA and MA, but we never work on LAs. वी ऑलवेज निग्लेक्ट एलिस. हम तो यही कहते हैं इसको तो आता ही नहीं है, ना ये सीखेगा, ना ये आएगा, ना हमने इसको कराना है. Why would we put effort on those students? But in actual, your effort needs for those children. आपने उस बच्चे को सिखाना है जिसको नहीं आता. उसको नहीं सिखाना जो खुद कर सकता है या जिसको आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन से भी ज्यादा आता है. उसको सिखाने का और उस पर खुश होने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. आप you are a teacher and a successful teacher when you make your LAs learn. जब आपकी LA सीखेगा, जब आपका most evolving student of the classroom who needs to struggle a lot for learning, जब वो सीखेगा, then that is your achievement. All right. So Work on LAs in your classroom. Make a list whenever you go back to your school after the summer break. Please do try this strategy, and believe me, your whole class will work very well. Because sometimes when these LAs, these low learners, will not get what they want to get or what they want to learn, then they start teasing others also. They create fuss, they create noise in the classroom, they create disturbance in the classroom because they are not learning anything. So your main focus should be those children who are struggling for learning, not the ones who are meeting your expectation or exceeding your expectations. Your emphasis and focus should be on the ones who are low learners. Please try to do that. Try to involve yourself in such a way with those children, and then you will see the magic around your classrooms. Then EAD activity, make them learn with EAD activities. Okay, if you're not getting time and you are busy with other students, so give them such activities which they will become busy for doing for a little time. Then later you can come to them and you can ask, you can make them learn for the things and you can make them understand later for the topic. Then comes to the plenary. I told you plenary includes both open and ended questions. You can prepare questions according to the topic, which are close ended questions, where they can answer you according to the topic. And there should be some open ended questions where they used to think out of the box and will give you answers. Real life problems can also involved in it. Imaginatory problems can also involve it in. What will happen that when you ask such questions, your LA students, the low learners or middle achievers, they give you answers very well. Why? Because in our society, that rata system is for high achievers only. जितने भी बहुत अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स हैं ना, वो मोस्टली रटा अचीवमेंट रटा सिस्टम के ही होते हैं. ठीक है. आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स थिंकिंग के लिए आपके एमएस और आपके एलएस आपको बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग आंसर्स देते हैं. तो डू आस्क इमेजिनरी क्वेश्चंस और डू आस्क रियल लाइफ ऑब्जेक्ट क्वेश्चंस. So according to the topic, so those are called open ended questions where they use their perceptions, their thinking, and you also come to know by the end of the topic that how well your students grasp the whole uh, lecture or the whole topic or the whole lesson for that day. Okay. Now, here are some questions for open and close ended questions. You can add what, who, how, when, why. They are clear answers. Okay. Now, when you ask close open ended question for the, sorry, this is for close ended questions. And for open ended questions, you have what if you in that situation. Why would you? Okay. How can you? All right. So the answers can be very different. They can be funny, they can be strange, they can be very genius also. But let them answer. Okay, whatever they, because that involves only their imaginations, their creativity, their real life thinking. Practical life involvement is there. So let them think out of the box and give you answers that home learning should be there daily. Nahi to whatever your plan is for giving homeworks, do give them practical assignments, not the book work, not the daily tasks you are giving. Okay, copy the same thing in the classroom at homework, whatever you have done in the classroom, copy the same thing. Or I have done 3 questions over here, you are going to solve 2 questions from home. Okay, give them 2 questions for home, but give them those questions which involve practical thinking. In every chapter there are some questions which are from out of the box now also in the books, so give them those questions for homework, or tell them to figure out 5 or 10 words and write their meanings in front of it. Okay, what are their synonyms? Write them. Okay, make some sentences with some words related to the topic, or give them any topic related question, but that should be different what you have not taught, that is involved in creation. Okay, your homework's involved in the lesson plan part, in Bloom's taxonomy part of the creation. So let them create things. Then whatever the skills involved in your lesson plan, if you mention that, then it is very good. Otherwise, you can leave that part. But if you add, it is very good. It is good for the reader also, that what are the things you have used for your lesson plan. Creating, innovating, evaluating, reflecting, handling, researching, inquiring, experimenting, participating, recalling, remembering, understanding, analyzing. So what are the strategies? What are the skills you involved in the lesson? You can take that. Then teacher's log, as I told you, that how much your students get your lesson, you are going to take that. Almost all the students, 90% and above students, or 75% and 90% students, it is good for you also, it is good for the reader also, who is checking your lesson plans. And they will also come to know that how much you are involved in your classrooms and how much you are taking initiative to make your learners to learn. Then comes the reflective diary, that is also called learning journals and learning logs. Also, by the end of the lesson, you are going to write your reflecting diaries. All right, this is end of the session one. Is it clear, everyone, or do you want to ask me something? G class, speak up, please. Everything clear, or you want to ask or share something? Well, I don't understand